Honestly, one of the worst things that can happen to a new beginner runner is that they end up with foot pain. Unfortunately, as beginner runners, one thing they tend to get wrong is that they ramp up their training too quickly, and paired with not taking proper care of your feet can lead to that pain and potential injuries. If you are one of those unfortunate people who has gotten foot pain, no worries, you are in luck because Coach Morgan here from the Run Experience, and I'm gonna show you how you can avoid some of that foot pain by adding in these stretches and exercises for your feet. Let's go. All right, the first one we're gonna do is a little bit of mobility for our arches. You are gonna need some kind of a ball for this. I have a lacrosse ball here, but a tennis ball, anything like that works. And what I'm gonna do is take this lacrosse ball, put it underneath. I'm gonna start at the top of my foot here, just on the bigger, meatier part here. And as you can see, I'm on the ground. I am not gonna put too much weight on this. I don't need my whole body weight pushing down. I'm gonna slowly start to move back and forth from right underneath that first knuckle there after my big toe, all the way down to my heel on the outside of my arch, working back and forth, and I'm gonna slowly start to move inwards out towards my pinkies, just going up and down and back and forth. Now for me, I have, as you can maybe see here, kind of decently high arches, and so I tend to get a little bit of pain in there, and I really like getting in a little bit deeper, and there's always this tender spot for me. Oh, right there. And what I'm gonna do is when I find that tender spot, I'm gonna point my toe up, flex, and extend. Once again, not putting too much pressure on my feet here, especially if this is your first time doing this. You wanna be nice and easy and controlled. And then I'm just gonna roll around. And then you're gonna switch to the other side. I'd say spend 2-ish minutes, maybe a little bit more if your feet are really starting to hurt, but we don't want to overdo it because our feet can be a little sensitive. Like I said, especially if this is your first time doing any kind of arch rolling or foot mobility, we want to take it easy. Next one we're going to do is going to be a little bit of mobility and strength built into it. And for this, you're going to need a band. And if you don't have a band, that is A-okay. You can use a towel, you can use a long sleeve shirt with the arms tied together, whatever. We're here to make this easy. So I'm gonna sit with my legs straight out in front of me, a little bit of bend in the knees if we need that. And I'm gonna take my band and I'm gonna put it right around kind of the middle part of my foot up on the top portion out of the arch. But I don't wanna put it too much on my toes because once I point my toes towards me, I'm gonna get slapped in the face. And I don't want it too low because then it's not gonna do anything. So right in the middle there. The nice thing about this is that you can make it harder or easier on yourself depending on where you are at. So I can pull on this and make it a little bit tighter, or I can release and make it a little bit easier so that I'm just warming up for it. So what I'm gonna do is about 10 to 15 reps, I'm gonna point my toes all the way back and then push them out as far as I can, flexing and extending that foot. 10 to 15 on each side, maybe try to make it a little bit tighter as I go along. One thing I don't want you guys to do is just let your foot fall backwards essentially, controlling pushing out and controlling bringing that foot forward. 10 to 15 on each side, give your feet a little bit of a wiggle and head on to the next side. Look, we always want to promote you putting in the work and taking care of your body and yourself. But sometimes we need a little help from our friends. That's why I want to give a super quick shout out to our friends from Superfeet. The Run Experience family, myself included, all really love Superfeet products because they are all based on podiatric science. Which, yes, that means foot science. They started in 1977, so they've had their foot in the game for a little while now as the sports medicine division of Northwest Podiatric Laboratories. And today, their products are still helping people all over the world get the most out of every single step. Superfeet insoles help your feet move the way that they're supposed to by adapting the flat surface of the inside of your shoes to the contours of your feet. The all-new Adapt Run line offers step-in comfort, cushion support, and a smooth ride to keep your feet feeling great mile after mile. Now, I'm not done showing you those exercises, so let's get back into it. Okay, so I'm sure you've heard of yoga, but have you heard of toga? Toe yoga? That's what we're doing next. So I'm gonna stand up for this one, and I'm gonna keep my socks on because I'm deep in trail training season, so I'm gonna keep my socks on. Okay, so I'm gonna stand up here. The first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna focus on pushing my big toe down into the ground and just lifting up my 4 other toes. So I'm gonna push that big toe down, and it's very funny. You'll probably notice that you'll start to grip your fingers together and lift up all your other fingers to try to lift up your toes. pushing that big toe down in and trying to lift up your 4 other toes. First couple times I started to do this, my feet really started to cramp because I was just scrunching my feet up. So, you know, kind of shake it out, give them a couple squeezes there. After you've done that, you're then gonna focus on pushing your other 4 toes down and just lifting up the big toe. Lifting up the big toe. When I do this, my pointer fingers start to lift up into the air. There we go. This one, a little bit easier for me, as we can see. You'll probably notice a big difference on each foot as well too. And that's okay, that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this, to get to know our feet a little bit better. Once again, try to aim for 10 to 15 reps with both of these exercises. In between, you can go into a little bit of a down dog position. I like to kind of just sit on my toes and stretch them out here, kind of sit my weight back into my heels. Take a couple deep breaths, let those feet stretch out in between. I like to do the other 2 exercises first and save this one for last, because hopefully by that time, my feet are going to be nice and warmed up. One of the great things about taking the time to work on our foot strength and mobility is it doesn't take a lot of effort. So we can do this multiple times a week, and it's really not going to fatigue us, right? We shouldn't feel super fatigued after doing these couple exercises. I would say try to add them in 3 to 4 times a week. If you're newer to these exercises or you are experiencing a little bit of pain, start on the easier side, build into it. We don't want to just take it on all or nothing, because it is easy. Sometimes we take it too far. So once again, just like anything else, we want to make sure that you're building up into it. And if you are experiencing a lot of pain and it's inhibiting you from going for a run or even for a walk, then make sure you check out this video coming up next. We're going to talk about all about foot health and foot care and how you can bounce back from those injuries. Happy feet, happy running.